how much you scored. And if they feel like they will include feedback, and if they don't, they might not include feedback, but you will see your grade. I hope that answers your question now. All right, thank you. Mr. Yakubu, good evening. Welcome back to class. Please let's welcome Mr. Yakubu back to class this week. He's going to be our instructor for this week. Welcome back, Mr. Yakubu. You have the floor. Please go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Anike. Good evening, everyone. I trust you had a productive day. Please do confirm if you can hear me. Anike, someone is raising his or her hand. I don't really know.
The follower, we have, all right, you have 1 minute before we start this class, please.
Good evening. Sorry, it was a mistake.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Mr. Yakubu, please go ahead.
Okay, all right, thank you. Once again, good evening. I trust you had a productive day, and I want to believe at this juncture and stage, um, I believe you are enjoying the bootcamp and enjoying the classes. And as at this time, I know most of you must have been feeling like, is this thing really for me? Because I know the journey will be getting tough and tougher as we progress in but nevertheless, always remember the reason why you started. That should serve as a motivation for you. The reason why you joined this training, the reason why you chose product design, and the reason why you have chosen the career path as choosing product design as a career path. So that should fuel your consistency and commitment. So no matter how tough it is, it will still get tougher. What I'm trying to say, no matter how tough it is now, it will still get tougher. So you just need to brace up and keep going. And just like you say that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and you really be the one to earn more from it. So for this week, for tonight, we'll be looking at the UI fundamentals. We'll be looking at UI design principles, and this is only very key. So you need to really pay attention, because when I checked the assignments, I think the assignment I gave in the first week, that says you guys should replicate a certain login page, and I saw a lot of you guys really tried, but I realized that the UI design principle was missing. Some were not properly aligned, so some were scattered and no balancing, so and the like. So I believe this particular topic, we do justice to that and erase every form of this thing when it comes to UI design principles. And I don't believe that after this class, you'd try to look at your design again and make necessary corrections if need be. Because I heard when someone was asking for the grading system or something like that about the assignment. So though personally I've looked at all the old designs, so or let me say 80% of the design, but I'm yet to just grade them because I'm just still just kind of looking at it. So probably after this class, you can just take a look at your design again before I will start giving grade to each assignment. So I want to believe that's an opportunity for you. So if you are still together, just signify. All right, thank you. So we are looking at design. Someone is raising his hand. Olabin officers.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
All
Me
right,
too.
sir. The last assignment I was unable to submit because it was it has passed the due date. I don't know if I still have the opportunity to submit it.
Okay, this question will be taken after the class, but please let's us, Mr. Yakubu, you can continue, but we'll take every other questions after this class. This is class time. Let's not distract people that are waiting for the class to start. We're already 30 minutes into the class. Mr. Yakubu, please go on.
All right, thank you. So please, if you have any questions, just note it down, jot it down, and after the class. So any interruption moving forward should be maybe you can't hear me, or probably you didn't get a particular thing I've said. So I just need to retreat or go back to it. So thank you for the usual cooperation. So we are looking at UI design principles for tonight. So in this class, we'll be understanding hierarchy. We'll be looking at the balance. We'll be looking at what hierarchy means, looking at what balance means, contrast, consistency in UI design. So because this matters most, if you look at your design today, just like I've said earlier, that you guys should go and figure out on designs online. So, and I want to believe you did that. So if you look at designs, one thing about design is this: good designs, they are unnoticeable. Do you understand? They go unnoticeable. You will surely know a good design, no matter how bad you have how bad your design thinking, or how bad your eye design eyes is, or your design lens. You will surely know that this is a good design when you see it. So when you interact with the app, you surely know that this product is good, these designs, they are good. So just like I do say that bad designs frustrate users. So, and for every design or product you are developing, or you are designing, you are building, you don't want it to frustrate users, because the more it frustrates the users, it will get to a point whereby they will abandon your product entirely, and that won't be good. So, so for this not to happen, that's why UI design principles matter a lot. So basically, is the difference between a product people love to use and one they will never use again. So if you put two designs together, a good design and a bad design, a good product and a bad product, what makes it intuitive is when the designer implements UI design principles into whatever he has designed. Do you understand? So when it comes to a product, as much as it requires a product requires to be beautiful, you understand, the aesthetic part has to be top notch, but the real challenge is creating product that anyone can use intuitively. You understand? Whether web app, mobile app, anyone, either on phone, tablet, or computer. You understand? The real challenge is the user should be able to use it intuitively. Do you understand? So UI design principles are the comprehensive guidance designers rely on to create products that serve and delight users. So UI design basically is just a comprehensive guideline. It's just a kind of a guideline, a design guideline, guideline, sorry, or guideline, basically, that you can rely on to create products that serve and delight users. So let's look at why UI principles matters a lot. So one is it enhances usability. It enhances usability. So when we're talking about enhancing usability, we're talking about, just think of a user as someone asking you for direction. Okay, I'm going to so place, and instead of you just showing them a map and expect them to memorize it, you can just probably get a kind of a sign that, okay, when you see this sign moving to the right, it shows you are going to so place. So that for them not to get lost. Do you understand? So basically, in excuse me. So this particular illustration shows that if a user wants to use a product, there should be a kind of a principle. This principle make them understand that, okay, I'm going to this place. It makes them not feel lost while using your what? while using your product. Do you get that? So just like a signpost pointing people to a particular place or direction or destination. So while using your product, people can usually follow a kind of a sign on your product. So design principles makes it much better. It makes it more better for user to experience, to have a good and great experience. So another thing is it increases efficiency. UI principle increases efficiency. That is a clear and that is aligning UI principles, aligning your things on a particular product. It makes it efficient. People will be able to start, okay, this um, um, particular product, while using it, I don't feel lost. I don't feel it lifts a kind of a cognitive load for you and for the designers. Do you understand? So it streamlines your workflows. It makes your work easy. Do you understand? So as you are designing, it makes your work faster if you implement UI principles to your design. So another one is it decreases cognitive load. Just like I said, it decreases um, cognitive load. So it reduces, a well-designed interface can simplify tasks. It can reduce the mental effort required to complete user actions. So for a particular user that wants to kind of just order a product and it gets to your product, is well onboarded, and through your design, through a well implemented design principles, it makes the users to understand that from this place I'm going to this place and I'm getting my final destination, that is to order the product without hassle. Do you understand? With no hassle. Do you understand? So it reduces cognitive load. And the last part is okay. So that's it. So UI principles enhances usability, it increases efficiency, it improves decision making. So it improves decision making. So a clear and consistent UI design principles gives a structured framework for predicting user needs and making informed design choices. So it makes you to understand that, okay, for this kind of button, this is a button I need to use. I need to make it pop up. I need to make it visible on the design. So it improves your decision making. You understand? And one thing about this UI design is this. One thing about UI design is this. You need to understand your user experience very well, because it is your user experience that will inform your UI design. Do you understand? Even if you be focusing, even at the end of everything, you are focusing on UI design alone. That is, you just want to become a UI designer alone. You still need to understand user experience, because that is what will inform your UI designs. Because if you just also want to develop a button that will cause a kind of frustration to your users. So that's it. Now let's go to number one, which is the hierarchy. So hierarchy helps user recognize key informations and distinguish them from less important elements at a glance. That is, if you look at a newspaper, you want to read a newspaper, the first thing you'll be reading is the header. If I'm correct, is the header. So it's what they want you to see. That will be the first thing you will see. What the media wants you to see is what you will see. And that is what I will take the prominent part, either by size or by font or by colors and everything. Do you understand? So hierarchy matters a lot. If you look at this slide, what I want you to see, if you look at it, what are you seeing first? Someone should just tell me, looking at this design, what are you seeing first on this slide?
UI design and principles.
All right, thank you. God bless you. So that's what I want you to see first, because that's what matters most as a top, as its header of this slide, UI design principles. Do you understand? So if you go forward, what do you see next? Another person, please.
Hierarchy.
Yeah, you are saying hierarchy. So that's just what I want to. That's what hierarchy is all about. So hierarchy helps users understand what's most important on a page. It's like making the most crucial information stand out. You understand? If you look at a website for an example, you will see the first information you see from the landing page or the hero section. It was the mess is what the app is all about, is what they want you to see about the product. So hierarchy matters a lot. It's very important. So you can achieve hierarchy by using size, making the size bigger, big element grab attention first, basically. So you apply color, you can apply color. I can make this maybe I can choose another color for these UI design principles and make other less visible color. You understand? So you can use size, you can use color, you can use positioning. You know, when you position important items at the top, just like I did for this one. So you can read from the top to the bottom. So when you don't, when you prioritize hierarchy, it makes your design or your product stands out. It makes it intuitive. So especially for those that design websites, so you will get to know as we progress in it. So you have to be intentional about what goes on your screen, especially what users see first and what they have to scroll to see based on hierarchy. So you have to consider you prioritize information. Your UI content hierarchy should reflect what the user cares about most. You understand? Just like I made an example on a website, you understand what you want them to see, what you want them to see, what you want to, what the message you want to pass the most concerning your website or concerning your product. That is what they will see first, and that is what matters most. So that's all about hierarchy. And let's go about balance. Let's go about balance. So another UI principle is balance. Balance ensures that the layout doesn't feel too heavy on one side. It is the distribution of visual elements to create sense of order. So when you look at a particular let's say a newspaper, and you see that everything is just scattered, not well properly in order, it will be hard for you to understand what to read or to choose what to read first. And by so doing, you will feel frustrated and you leave the newspaper. You don't want to read again because it might there's possibility you strain your sight or you strain your eyes, and you don't want that for yourself. So you leave the newspaper alone and go for another newspaper, or you do another thing. Same goes for a product too. If your product or your design lacks balance, a good balance, it will frustrate users and they will drop off. And by so doing, there won't be sales generation for that particular product. Do you understand? So balance is very key. Do you understand? It's an important principle that affects how users perceive and interact with a design. So it affects how you want your users to perceive your product, how you want them to interact with your design or with your product. So balance matters a lot. So we have two types of kinds of balance. We have the symmetrical balance, that is elements that are evenly spaced and aligned, that is aligned together. And we have the asymmetrical balance, that is different elements arranged in a way that still feels stable, either a big one and a small one, and you still align them to make them stable, be in order. Do you understand? So basically, without balance, we create visual tensions that can easily have a negative impact on our design. Just like I said, I made an example with the newspaper. So without balance, it will create a kind of a tension, a frustration, And that's what people would perceive that product to be. That's what users will perceive your product to be. And that's what they will refer when they are speaking about your product to other people. So, and that will create a kind of a bad narrative for the product or design you are doing. So, prioritize balance in designing. Another one is contrast. So, we use contrast in design, we use contrast strategically to draw attention to important content. Do you understand? Or features. You understand? So for a critical piece of information, you may introduce a higher, more jarring contrast to command users' attention. Look at it. At this point, I had to create a contrast to this text just to make it stand out. Contrast makes elements stand out. Do you understand? So you add contrast either by using what is it called? Using color. Let me show you an example. I think I have it on this page. Let me show you an example here. Okay. So this is a contrast I have to create an emphasis on this financial trading, because I want them to understand that the platform is for what? Financial trading. So I have to put a contrast on this particular text here. On this particular text here, financial trading. So that's what contrast does to your design. Are we together? Are you getting it? All right, thank you. So contrast makes elements stand out from each other. So you can achieve contrast by color, just like I just showed you. You put color to make it stand out from the rest. Maybe that text or something like that. You can use size too. Either you use bold, semi-bold, or increase the size by just multiply the size. It will create a contrast. It will make it stand out from the rest. And we use shape to create a contrast, either around all these round button or sharp edged sections. So hopefully we have the time to just put all this into practical in this class, God willing. So another one is consistency. This is very important, as you need to really pay attention to this as a designer. Consistency matters a lot. So a good interface feels familiar from the first click. You understand? When you look at your favorite applications, either web app or mobile app, from the get-go, when you are interacting with the product from each screens, you will notice that there is a consistent either buttons, color, and the likes. So it makes you feel that, okay, I am still with this product. This product is for maybe Access Bank, and you see the consistency across board, across your every of your interaction with the product. So it makes you feel familiar with the product. So if you see an Access mobile app, you know that this is an Access mobile app. If you see a GT Bank mobile app, you know that this is a GT mobile app, because you must have seen the consistency across board. Do you understand? So, and one of the reasons is that its design system creates this familiarity. That is why design system matters a lot in this in building product, in designing. From the get-go, you have to create a kind of the design system. You have to kind of create out the color, your primary color, your accent color, your secondary color. You have to create them out. You create out your grid system. You create out your what's it called? Your buttons. The different kind of buttons you want to use, either from the selected or the hovering state. Different states for your buttons, so you use it across the board. It's not like in a particular product or in particular design, you are using green for your primary button, for your call to action button, and in the next screen you are using a kind of a red this thing. So you'll be creating a kind of inconsistent this thing, and that is not good for as a product designer. It's not good for a product. It will make people not be able to familiarize with your product. So consistency matters a lot. So when a button looks and works the same way throughout your product, users stop thinking about the interface and focus on their tasks. So as users, what they want to do as a product designer, you don't want the user to focus more on looking at getting confused that I saw a green the other time, I'm seeing red now. Am I still on the same product? You understand? This takes them away from their primary tasks, what they come and do on your product. And the more they are spending that time solving that question or kind of racking their brain about what's this on this design, it's a kind of a turn off. So I don't want that for your product or a particular design you are working on. So you make the goal of a product designer is users should come and focus on their tasks, make it seamlessly. Do you understand? So continuity becomes increasingly important as users advance through a flow. So consistency is all about people having a kind of feel like, okay, this is the same thing the same button I clicked the other time, and it's still the same button I click throughout. Do you understand? So it gives them this continuity, it gives them this familiarity about your product. So consistency means keeping styles, colors, layouts uniform throughout your design. It makes it, when you look at a kind of, let me see, let me remember a particular app or a particular maybe Access or GT Bank, they have this kind of what's it called? An orange call to action button. So when you see it, you know that, okay, this button is for this is my call to action button. This is where I click this. This is for GTA Bank. Do you understand? So it creates the styles are consistent, the colors are consistent. You will not see an orange call to action button in one place, and then you see a kind of what's it called? A green call to action button, whereby you feel like, I hope I'm not on the is it Polaris now or Access? Do you understand? So consistency means keeping styles, colors, layouts uniform throughout the design. It makes the UI predictable and easy to use. Do you understand? It's all about familiarity. So when they're able to predict that this is Access Bank platform, this is GT Access platform, this is Dive Africa's platform. Do you understand? All right, sorry for that. So how do you achieve this throughout your design? So through your buttons should look the same everywhere, same color, shape, and size. So you can't have a rounded buttons on a particular screen.
Mr. Yakubu, your screen is no longer showing. I don't know if that's on purpose, or I don't think they can see your screen. Or is it just me?
I can see the screen. I can see the screen.
Or it's probably my network. Alright, so continue on,
I
sir.
can see the screen also.
Okay, it's my network, then I'll just go off and come in again.
Okay, all right then. All right, thank you. So just like I was saying that you maintain consistency through your buttons. So you don't want a situation whereby you used a rounded buttons, use a rounded buttons in a particular design, and you are using another one that is a kind of, let me show you an example here. Okay, I think I have an example here. Okay, let me use this one too. So this is a rounded button. I use the rounded button here, and again I have to use it here also. Do you understand? So I have to use it here also. So imagine me using a rounded buttons here, and I'm using a kind of button here that is not rounded. Can you see it? So it makes it inconsistent. Do you understand? So using buttons, your buttons must be consistent throughout your design. Another one is the fonts used. Fonts should be limited to a few styles. So because too many fonts makes your work or design messy. So basically, uh, you shouldn't use more than maybe two fonts for a particular product, two or three fonts. Do you understand? Two or three fonts is highest is three. You understand? So you must not use more than two or three fonts for your particular design. All right, so the fonts you have to use should be limited to a few styles, so that your work will not be messy. It will kind of create a consistency across board. So you can't use a kind of a roboto. You can't use a kind of a roboto on your work, and you are using in the next slide, in the next design, you are using a kind of what's it called? You are using another font for your product. So fonts, consistent font matters a lot. Another one is your spacing. Your spacing should be uniform. Your spacing should be uniform. Same margin and padding across the design. You understand? If you are using a spacing of even numbers, maybe 16 or 18, you have to maintain such spacing so that once your users are using your product and reading your product, reading a kind of a particular text, they know that it's consistent to not create a kind of a tension or frustration for them. So that's how to maintain consistency in design. So let's quickly move on to grids and alignment. I want to believe we all taught you were taught grids and alignment last week, so I won't be touching that again. I'll just maintain the. So let's go to color theory, introduction to color theory and the psychology of color in UI design. Please, are we together? Do you understand everything I've taught so far? All right, thank you. These are other aspects you need to really consider and take note of because it's very important. Color is very important. Knowing how to use your color is very important in design. Someone said we didn't talk about grid. Please, can another person kind of confirm?
Yes, you only spoke about alignment. We didn't talk about the other parts.
Okay. All right, let me quickly touch that on that. So grids and alignment, it's one thing that matters also in UI design when you are designing. So a grid is a set of invisible lines that help align elements neatly on a page. It helps align elements neatly on a page. So there's a way we set grid on the Figma, So you know about that, because while creating your design system, it's one of those things that you will create before you design a project, before you start a project, or before you start designing a project. You have to create a grid system. We call it grid system. So it ensures that content is organized, readable, and visually appealing. So this grid and alignment, it makes your content visually appealing and readable. It makes it well organized. Do you understand? Look at this slide. It's well aligned to the left. Do you understand? It's well aligned to the left. So why use grid? We use grid to have the structure. So to keep the layout clean and professional. So we use grid to keep a layout clean and professional. So for a particular text, we know that we are aligning to the left, and there's a kind of a padding, either 16 padding, a kind of a margin, either 16 or, as the case may be, that 72 or 120. You understand? So it makes it have a structure. It makes your design have a structure to keep layers clean and professional. Another one is for consistency's sake. You understand? It ensures elements are aligned and evenly spaced. You understand? So that's one of the use of grids. And efficiency also. You don't need to grid system makes you make your workflow efficient. It makes it faster. So it makes you place elements quickly without guessing. You don't need to stress yourself. So when we get to practical, we know about that. So types of grid, we have the column grids, we have the modular grids, and we have the baseline grids. So the column grid is it divides a page into equal columns, like newspaper. So you know what a column is, right? It's example is a website often use 12 columns. So when we are designing, we mostly use 12 columns grid. So don't get confused. We touch it later on. So the modular grids, we use both vertical and horizontal divisions, like in tables. Do you understand? Like in tables, whereby we have the rows and columns. So the baseline grids align text with consistent line spacing. So that's what we use for our text. So how to align elements correctly? Use margin and padding to separate elements. We place important elements along grids, and we keep spacing uniform to avoid cluster. So when it comes to aligning elements, so it's just not for them not to cluster. We make use of the spacing uniform, just like I explained before, that you make your spacing uniform. Maybe you are using a kind of a 12 spacing system or a pre-system or anyhow sharp. So you just make sure your spacing are consistent. You use margin and padding, either margin to the left, something like that. So let's go back to our color. So in pro design, color isn't just a decorative element. It is not something we just want to make it to be decorative. It's actually and heavily plays a huge role in how user feels and interacts with an interface. So one of the reasons why we use color is to create emotions. We use it strategically to communicate compelling messages. Do you understand? If you for an error message, we use a kind of a red, not too red, but we use a red to communicate error, to communicate fear, to communicate emergency cases. So we use it to create emotions. For sources, we use green to communicate sources. Do you understand? So color communicates a lot. It brings emotions. Whereby when you see a kind of a color, you know that this thing is speaking to this. When you see green, you know that green is speaking to nature. You understand? So when you want to design a kind of maybe you are into agro-tech, or you want to design something that has to do with agriculture, do you know that you have to make use of nature, that you have to make use of maybe your green and the likes. You understand? So you have to understand all these things you have to understand all this color theory and psychology. Do you understand? So we use it to communicate compelling messages. We use it to influence user emotions and shape perceptions about a brand. Do you understand? So we use to shape perception about a brand. So when you see MTN, when you see a yellow like this, you know that you are talking about MTN. And when you see kind of an orange, when it comes to banking sector, you know that you are talking about GT Bank and the likes. So you use it to shape a perception about a brand. You understand? So once you know the basis of color theory, you can design color schemes that book engagement and convert sales. So you need to know how to maneuver your way around colors. So colors is very important. Graphic designer will tell you more about colors. So for product designer, we use it strategically. We don't just pack or jam pack colors on a particular design, because your design, your product is not about how beautiful it looks alone. It's about the functionality. Do you understand? So we need to make it neat, intuitive, and what's it called? Make it usable. You understand? So you don't just pack colors into your design. You understand? It's not a flyer design. It is a product. You understand? Even in flyer design now, graphic design don't just jam pack they don't just jam pack colors now. They are not strategic with their colors now. So you need to understand that. Now let's go to color theory. Color theory helps designers and product teams figure out how colors work together to achieve a color harmony. That is, color theory will shape your decision, will shape your decision making. It will help you know that, okay, these are the colors I want to use for this product, and that will speak about the product. You understand? So this framework helps creative choose a color palette that stirs up emotions, leaving a lasting impact on their customers, clients, and audience. You understand? So color theory helps designers and product team figure out color works basically. So in order to achieve color harmony, that's what color theory does. So why does color theory matters? Designer who apply color theory sees three main benefits. So basically, we see three main benefits when it comes to color theory, and why it matters a lot in design, because it's help us to have an impactful visual design. Color theory can guide you to use contrasting colors to grab your audience attention, just like I showed you earlier on in the class, or strike a color balance for enduring visual appealing. So it brings about a kind of what's it called? It makes your users, it makes them attentive to a particular message you are trying to pass concerning your design or element. So color gives you that. The color theory gives you that leverage. Understanding color theory will give you that leverage, and it tries a kind of a color balance. Do you understand? So another one is improved UX. It improved the user experience. So color harmony can support user workflows, making it easier to scan content and navigate your product UI. So it improves user experience. So, and again, it's for better brand expression. So the right color palette can help you to showcase your brand personality. I've explained this too earlier. Can help you showcase your brand personality, message, and mood. So you need to understand this very well. Color psychology and color theory. It's based on mood, perception, and the likes. So what you want people, your users to perceive about your brand, how you want them to be, pay attention to the message you are passing across. So color gives you that. Color theory gives that leverage. So color theory So the three main types of color on a color wheel. So we have the basically three main color on color wheel. That's the primary color. We have the primary color, we have the secondary color, and we have the tertiary color. So color theory gives that. So color theory uses that color wheel to define three main colors. So we have for the primary colors, we have basically the red, yellow, and the blue, the RYB, the red, the yellow, and blue. So it is from these other colors are being, created and used. So when combined, primary colors serve as a base for other colors. So it serves as a base for other colors. So we have secondary colors also. We have secondary colors, which includes the orange, green, the violet. You understand? Secondary colors are two primary colors mixed together. So when you mix two primary colors together, you get your secondary colors. This is very important when you are, it's important to understand this when you are designing, especially for those that want to focus more on their UI design. You understand? So to get your secondary colors, you have to mix two primary colors together. So the tertiary colors, which result from mixing a primary color with a secondary color. So that gives you your tertiary color. So when you include a kind of a red and yellow, red, orange, yellow, blah, blah, blah. So that's what gives you your tertiary color. So I think that's that one. Color theory. Do you understand? All right, thank you. So I think I don't know. I think we can still do one or two things. Just put in the practical. So another part is, okay, let us do something on alignment and hierarchy. Okay. So this was the assignment I gave the other day. So you can see is the my primary for my buttons. These are buttons here. So let's try to create something else. Mm, Can you still see my screen? All right. Let me use a kind of, let's do a web out there. Let me go to my frame, desktop, and let me use my MacBook Pro 14. MacBook Pro 14. Okay. We have our MacBook Pro 14 here. And we have, let's choose a color. Um, let's do with this. Mm, okay. So I want to create a kind of a margin here. Okay, I'm sharing my grid system. Let me set a grid system here. So I'm setting my grid system. My margin is 72. Can give it that refresh on it. Refresh on it. So the count here is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So confirm if you can see my grid here. Okay. All right. I want to believe you can see it better now, right? All right. So whatever I'm doing here, so I have to always place my this thing here. If you notice that there's a red line that comes up, it shows that it aligns with your grid system. You understand? So you can set your grid system as a column 2. That is, if you want to always work with your upper and lower alignment and not just the left and the right alignment also. So I have my this thing here. So I have my auto layout. So for my home here, I have sorry. Okay, let me use the Semu board 2032 just to create a selected state for it. So I should put it back as regular. Regular. So I've added contrast to this here by making this one a more bigger, that is using semi-bold, and why this one is just irregular, because this one will be the selected space, shows that is a selected showing that okay, this is the home. Mhm. I have them aligned properly. So I do 52 to the top. You can see the red ruler there. Okay, how did I quickly duplicate the buttons? I use my Control D. Or you can use the Alt. Hold your Alt key and drag it. I use my Control D though. Okay, let's have our header here, our text header here. Mhm. So this is our header here. Just 120 to the top. Okay. We want to have our body text here. So for our body text, using regular, reducing. Oh. Yeah. So like I just want to increase my line height. Since my font size is 22, I can do 60 or 50 under 50. All right, just to make it readable. Let me change my distance to outfit. Change my font size, font to outfit. So I've successfully created an hierarchy. So it's accelerate your tech career and be a guru. So let me set a contrast to it. I want to send to this be a guru. Be a guru, be a guru. Just always put on what it looks nice. Okay. Wait, I hope we all have a Figma mirror. Because I guess I told you to install Figma mirror. Okay. So as you are designing, you can always check use your Figma mirror to check how it looks like, to check the feel of what you're doing. All right. In case you've not downloaded, just download Figma on your Play Store or Apple Store. Then you log in. Then you're on the right track. So for you to get what you're doing, once you click on this frame, it will appear on your Figma mirror and you see it there. Okay, so let's create our buttons. Let's put a frame. Put in our fill color. So we're using white as our fill color. Using highlights. So, okay. Let me give it a corner radius of 20. And say then we put in your text. Another way to create your buttons, you can just type in your, you can type in your text, maybe you create the text, then put it in auto layout. From your auto layout, you can now set, you can put in your fill color. Change your color, your text to okay. Then you give it a shape. We run another radius of 20. Then you now increase the padding. Oh, sorry, increase the right padding. So 42. Increase this as the case may be, but I prefer the so that's another way to create a button. That's another way to create a button. So that's another way to create a button. I hope you get that. Okay, the home, you can just put it, just align it the way, once you align it like this. Just be conscious of your blue or your grid system. You understand? All right, as we have the get started button here. So here you can choose to add any image of your choice. You can choose to add any image of, let me pick this one. Can choose to put it this one. So you know we have 72 to the right and to the right, and we have 72 here to the left. So that's it's easy because of grid system that we set. So I don't need to be stressing myself and be adjusting it up and down. You understand? So let me have my button here too. Let me create my button. Okay, let me use the get started here. A lot of questions. How do we get the grid system? I showed you how we got the grid system the other time. And from here, just come here to your right canvas here. You click on the frame, come to your right canvas here. You see layout grid here, layout grid. Just click on the plus button. Once you click on the plus button, it pops out something like this. you open it, you set it either columns or rows. Do you understand? Me, I'm using column here. So I just set it. Do you understand? So this is where I put in the 72. My margin is 72. Do you understand? And I change the count to 8. I want to believe you get that now. Oh, yeah. So did I even change my color text here? I don't think so. Oh, okay. So I just changed my color text using my primary color here. Yeah. So my primary color is set. The good thing of using auto layouts that you don't need to, you just need to align like this. Just to align them. Get started. Let me adjust. Oh. Let me use my text here. Sorry. Mm, mm, And use your text as a text button. And you can choose to use a kind of an outline button for it. Let me show you an example here. I choose to just bring this out. So you just change this text to login. Then you click on the frame here. Then you remove the fill color and add your stroke. So that means you have to change this to white. Your stroke color to white. So then you give your stroke maybe 0.5. And just place it here. So that's another state of your button. But I prefer this text. So we have this. Well, then probably 940. Okay. I'll create a frame. Add my color. I want to give it a different color. Mhm. I want to believe we are together.
Yes, sir.
Benita, you have a question? I can see you raised your hand.
Yes, I do. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Please, my question is for the button. How did you
Mhm.
create that button? You put get started because I was thinking is a rectangle you use, but I think
I
it's a
use I use the frame. I love using my frame because it makes me efficient. I love using my frame because if I use a rectangle. So basically, I think we have to stop here. So we have our hierarchy here, we have the contrast here, we have this thing. So next week we'll be looking at I'll send a link on the group chat now for you to go and read up on read up on what's it called? Read up on typography. You read up on typography. I'll send it to you now. All right now. So your question can come in now. So Benita, you said what was the question again?
I want to know why you use a frame instead of a rectangle, and then when you use a frame, which of the frame options did you select?
So if you want to create a button, if you want to create a button, just click on your letter F and you drag something like this. So it pops out. You understand? Then you do your necessary adjustments by giving it either corner radius and you input your text there. You understand? Then you align. And I mentioned another way you can create a button is through using auto layout. When you write out the text, you write out the text. You write out the text, you give it auto layout by using Shift A. After giving it auto layout, then you put in your fill color here on your right canvas. Do you understand? You change the text color. So wait. Do you understand? So you give it your padding, your left padding and your, do you understand? Anyhow you feel like. Do you get that now?
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's very clear.
All right. So Aniki, I'm done with the class. Question can come in.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Yakubu, for the class. That was an exciting one. Okay, so I'm gonna start with questions from the hey. I'm gonna start with questions from the insights. Okay, this is a lot of questions, but most of them are not. Okay, so let's take people that are raising up their hand. Damnola, you can go first.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Yakubu. Thank you for the lecture. I want to ask a question as regards the Figma mirror. What is it about? What's the use, and how do we download it and how do we use it? Thank you.
Okay, all right now, thank you. So basically, Figma Mirror it's a mobile application. To understand? So Figma uses it for you to have a feel about your design. You know, when you are designing on your system, because you don't design on phone, you are designing on system, you have a feel about it. When you are designing for mobile, you can see how it looks like. If your phone is Android, you see how exactly it look like, how the color will pop out and everything. Do you understand? It makes you have a feel of what you are designing exactly. Do you understand? So instead of you coming to click on this play button to see how it looks like on that particular distance, you can just see the interaction. And again, if you are prototyping, you can click on the interaction on your mobile distance instead of playing the using the play button here. You can just check the interaction on your phone. Whereby you click on it, it will show you how the interaction is looking like. If it's clickable, you will know or not. And again, you can if I should drop a comment, you use it to get updates on a particular file you are working on. So if I should drop a comment on this file or on a file, let's say the file you use for your assignment, it will show on your Figma mirror. If you click on that, sorry, it will show your Figma mobile app. So you can use it to get updates or comment as regards anything that has to do with your Figma account. Do you understand? You can search for your file on your phone. Do you understand? You can use it to check activities, just like the comment I talked about. Do you understand? And you can use it to view your recent files. You can view your recent files on your phone. You may not just be able to design on it, but you can just view it. So maybe you are not with you are not with your system and you're on the go. You can just look at it. You to check comments and the likes. I don't know if you get my point. Do you get that?
Yeah, I get that. I get that it's a mobile app, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Next person, Adisa Yomide, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Okay, so thank you very much, sir. So my question is on the grid, like the grid part. So I noticed that I use 8 counts for the grid. So I just want to know whether, because you're designing for a desktop, right? So like, is it like a standard grid for like a desktop, for like in case for a scenario whereby we're designing for like a mobile app, or so is it like we can be flexible with it, or it's just like there's like a standard grid, like the margin and then what's it called, the padding too. Did you get my question, sir?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So
Okay, thank you, sir.
basically I talked maybe in the class I had with you guys last time. I talked about even numbers. Do you understand? So basically, if you are designing you are designing a mobile app, maybe Android or the native iOS, you make use of the even numbers. So you can decide to set your count as 8 or 12. Do you understand? Or 4. Do you understand? It doesn't really matter the numbers, but you just need to know how it feels like for you. Do you understand? And if you are designing for web, personally, I love to use my 8 count. Do you understand? So I don't know if you get my
Oh,
point.
yes, I got. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Overlapping officers. You can unmute your mic, please.
Hi, good evening, sir. My question is not on this class, is on the previous class you had with us. You mentioned we can download a font that we don't have and extract it. I don't know if you can show us because I tried doing that, but I didn't get that.
Okay. Okay. Mm. So for Figma, basically there's a site called Google Font. We have Google Font. Have Google Font for this thing. Let me quickly share my screen using this part. Can you see my screen now? All right. So we have Google Fonts here. With Google Fonts, you have a lot of fonts here that has to do with Google. You understand? So, and one thing about this font is that it helps you check the typeface and to help you, it gives you the kind of font that complements or this thing. So we have the serif font, we have the sans serif font, we have the display font and the likes. So so once you type something here, probably you don't know the font to use and you want to write something, you can just type that thing here and you kind of have a feel of what it will look like exactly. Do you understand? So here you can search for fonts here and you can filter it. You can filter this font here. Either serif. So you have a place whereby you can filter it here. Do you understand? So you look at all these fonts here. So once we click on, let's do this. Let's do one here. I think I saw one here. So once you click on this one here, you click on this one, you see how it feels, you see how it will look like. So if you want to use it for header, to tell you everything about the font, this is how regular looks like. So to tell you everything about the font. So once you click on get font, just click on download. To be downloaded. So once it's downloaded, you go to your file. So you have it here, you click on the file, you click on extract files. You click on extract files. Okay. It has extracted the files there, you open it. Then you click on the particular one Don't click on this one, this note or something like that. You click on this one, you right click, then you install for all users. You install for all users. So all users means that you can use every you can use it will be installed on every tools, every design tools you are using, either Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, AI, or Figma or Adobe SD, anyone. So you just install for all users to show you that it's installing. Like then you can have it here. Once it's installed, you come to your front here. Once you come to your front here, you see it here. So you see it here. You understand? So same goes for that's how you install for others on other sites too. So like the fonts too. Like so. So do you understand now?
Yes, I do. But can it be used on the web? Like if I using the Figma on web, not the downloaded one.
It's still the same thing.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. Let me see. Okay, Damlola again. You can miss your mic.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'd like to ask Mr. Yakub that can he kindly share his the slide for this particular topic with us? We really appreciate it for more understanding and further reading. And I'd also like to ask our community manager that please, as you guys are project, our personal project, is this something we'll be given a task on by our facilitator or our instructor, or is something we have to like work on personally? Thank you.
Okay, so once it's time for your personal projects, I think tasks will be shared. Either way, you'll be getting like a prompt on what to do. So, but that has not been decided yet. I don't think instructors and facilitators have discussed about it. So once they've discussed about that, you'll be getting a prompt on that. Um, who's this? Austin, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Sorry, good evening. Please, I just wanted to ask if Mr. Yakubu could show us how he gets images and remove the background of the image to like fit into the design he's working on.
I didn't get that, please. If I can do what?
Show us how you get images that have like a background and remove the background to fit into the design you're working on.
Okay. Okay. All right. So before I do that, please, for those that are not aware, I've dropped the link to read on typography. So please do well to read and um, understand. And in case you're having any challenge, you can reach out to Anike or and she will know how to get in touch with her. Or you can reach out to me anyhow. So just make sure you read on it. So
Sir,
concerning the yes.
did you get my question earlier that I asked if we could like get access to this slide? Thank you.
Your committee manager will do that for you. Don't worry.
All
I think they
right.
are working on compiling everything. So,
All right. Thank
so
you so much, sir.
that's no problem. All right. So for the image, this thing. So just like I said in the first class, then that there's a plugin called Remove Background. We use it to remove background from images. So because it's very important, or you go to the site, remove the image on the site. But for my Figma, we have a plugin for remove background there, which makes our work efficient instead of going outside Figma to go and remove it and bringing it back, importing and exporting like that. So we just remove the background on our Figma, so it accelerate our workflow because you'll be needing it a lot because you have to remove a lot of background while working on designs and the likes. So I want to believe I've answered your question.
Yes, you have, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um, all right. So since there is no more hands up, I will take it that there is no other question for Mr. Yakubu for tonight. Okay, I spoke too soon. Johnson, you can unmute your mic and speak. Okay. Let me see. Okay, Mr. Yakubu. Okay. Olawale, you can unmute your mic and speak, please.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Wait, please, I'm trying to figure out how to the place you said you should click on Figma to import to upload the fonts.
Okay. So once you've installed your font for all users, all you need to do is just to click on your type in. Maybe you want to click on your text, you press your T, ready to type in something. You come to this typography, this thing. You see this outfit here. This is where you see every font you've installed or that has been installed on your Figma. You can now search for it. Then you get it. Then you click on it. Do you get that?
What I'm trying to know is where we are going to import them from after downloading the file.
If you've downloaded your file, you go to your file library now, your download here. You go to your library, your computer library.
Okay.
So you go to your computer library and install extract files first. After extracting the files, then you now install for all users. And let me quickly say this: in case you did not see your font in your Figma library, just relaunch your Figma. It will synchronize. Just relaunch your Figma. I hope
Thank
you
you,
all
sir.
got that. Yeah.
Tamara.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk again. I was about to ask Mr. Yakubu that please how do you say we do the remove, I think maybe you said it's a plugin to remove pictures background plugin. I didn't get that quite well.
Okay. I said there's a site for it, a removebackground.com this thing. So you go to the site, remove BG. That's remove.bg. Do you understand? So you remove the background there. But for efficiency's sake, there's a plugin on Figma whereby you need to download the plugin. Then you now go to that site to register and get the API keys. It is that API keys you will now come back to the plugin you downloaded to input it to give you access to it, so you'll be able to use it, be able to run it any day, anytime.
Oh, all right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, just to quickly chip into that because I know that a lot of people are going to go and ask and say ask, oh, I'm not getting how to download the BG or something like that. You can also use icons 8 background remover. I don't think you have to use API key for that. So icons 8 background remover, you can use that as well. That is also another background remover that you can use. So that's that for background removers. Let me see who else is raising up their hand. Oh, just a minute. Osadari Heritage, you can unmute so I can speak, please.
Yeah, thank you. I have two questions.
You might want to speak
The
up. I don't know. We can hardly hear. Your voice is very faint, so you might want to speak up.
I have two questions actually. The first one is, how do you change the font color from this be a guru? The font color was changed to green. How did that happen? Then the second question is, if you are conversant with Photoshop, can you easily use Photoshop to remove your background instead? Thank you.
All right, thank you. So let me answer the last question. You can use any platform you like to remove background, or you just need to just import it to your Figma and just use it. So far it works for you, it's fine. So how I change the how I added contrast to this particular thing, I select it and I hold on my left this thing and I drag it. I left click and drag it, then I put in the color. Do you get that?
Please come again, sir.
Okay. You select the text. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You select the text, then you drag whatever text you want to this in. So then you change the color to whatever you like. Do you understand? Do you get that now?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Johnson. Johnson, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Thank you. Sorry. I wanted to ask that you talking about
Hmm?
and you're talking about a Figma earlier that we could download on our app store. So like my connection kind of went off and I didn't get what you said.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that question. If Anika, if you get
Like you
that,
said
you can just.
we could download a Figma jam or something on our app store.
The Figma app.
Yes. You just said we can get it on our app store. My network was kind of bad at that time and then I didn't get that.
Yes, you can just go to your Apple Store or your Play Store and just download it.
Yeah. Not just the Figma app. I forgot what you called it earlier. We're kind of asking questions in the chat box, but there was no response. So I had to join again.
I think I'm lost somewhere.
Maybe it's Figma
It's
Mirror.
a
Figma mirror.
mirror.
Yeah, Figma Mirror. Thank you.
But once you get on the chat on your store, just type Figma. It will bring it out.
The Figma Mirror.
Just type Figma. It will bring it out.
Okay, sir.
So on that Figma mobile app, we have Figma Mirror. We have it's just a feature of that on that mobile app. Next question, please.
Victor, please, you can unmute your mic. Victor, are you there?
Yeah, sure. Good evening. Please, sir, can you explain the difference between margin and padding?
Okay, all right. So let me use I think I have a kind of let me put this in auto layout. You see, your margin is talking about the left and right this thing. Do you understand? And padding too is talking about the left and right this thing. So in grid they use margin, but in auto layout we have what? We have padding. Do you understand? So basically there are no this thing there.
So you come again, sir. I didn't get that.
So I said in Figma when we are talking about margin and padding, margin has to do with maybe let's use the grid system. It's talking about the outside space, while the padding is talking about the inside. You understand?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Samson.
Good evening, everyone. Um, I just want to probably bring the attention of Miss Victoria to the income messages. I think she has not read any one of them this night. Like there's some of us asking some kind of questions like, how did Mr. Yakub link the home about contacts and facts together, and some other questions that are relevant on the income messages. If probably she can just go, he can go through one or two, three of them and answer them. I don't know.
All right. Let me check. Okay, so majority of the questions, I think I'm seeing. Please, how do we use the Figma mirror?
I think there's one.
Yeah.
I think there's one that said, "How do you link home, about, and contacts and facts together?"
I only used auto layout, your shift A, and it's grouped everything together. Then you can now put in your then I increase this margin there, the padding, sorry.
Okay. Whoever asked that question, I can't see it, but I hope you get that. Somebody said, can you explain how you create the button using Alt again?
So once you get on how I create the button using Alt. No. I didn't create the button using, I only duplicate using Alt key. I want to believe that's what the person intended to ask. So if it's how to duplicate using the Alt key, you click on the button, then you hold your Alt key, then you drag.
All right. Okay, so whoever asked that question, I hope you got that. What else again? Mm, somebody asked, how do we set grid system? How do we set
Okay.
grid system?
All right. This will be the third time now. So once you click on, okay, let me create another frame. You click on frame, Macbro, then you come down here. You see your layout grid here. Layout grid on your right canvas, the bottom of your right canvas. Then you click on the plus this thing. So it will show you your grid here. So you now set it to whatever you want to do, whatever that fits what you wanted to do or what you want to do. Either column or rows. If you want to choose row and set it, and if it's column, which we use in the class, and if it's for the role and this thing, you can see it now. So it depends on how you feel. You can change the color too. And change the color too. So it depends on how you feel like. Do you get?
I don't even know what's the question. I'm just reading. I hope whoever asked that question actually got it, Sha. I hope whoever asked that question actually got it. Oluchi, thank you very much. Oh. Data is not expensive. Please go straight to the point with your questions. Don't allow us to be going back and back and back. We are already like 2 hours on this on this call. Please, Victor, hope your question is not what you have asked before.
You reach to ask.
Let's not enter midnight in this class. Victor, oh yeah, fast, sharp, sharp. Okay, maybe it's a mistake. Benita, please. Oh yeah, let's go with your question.
Thank you. I have two questions. One is this grid. Is it supposed to guide how you align your design? Like after everything, can you now remove it? Then secondly, how do you make your button responsive such that when you expand it, the text can go with it? Like it will not affect the text, like, or the size of, I don't know how to explain it. Like if you expand the button or anything,
Yeah.
and the text can move with it and still maintain the distance. Yes, something like that. But then the text is
So
not actually did not actually move with it.
this is it. So you use auto layout. That's the sense of auto layout. Do you understand?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So for the grid, you can actually put off your grid. Let's put off our grid here. You can just put it in the invisible, that is hide. Put it off. So if you are using Figma, if you are viewing it on your, if you are using Figma Mirror on your phone, the grid will not show on your phone. It will be showing the way it's supposed to look like this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all questions for this class, please. If you are raising up your hand for Mr. Yakubu, please. I'm going to take questions that is not related to the class. I'm not your teacher. Don't ask question and don't raise up your hand again. That is enough raising up hand for tonight. You people are doing this on purpose, Abby? No problem. Mr. Akubu, thank you so much. We've taken too much of your time. Everybody raising up their hand now, they are doing it on purpose. I know what they are doing. Please, their assignments, let it be 3. They have had too much of free time. So please, technical as much as possible. We need technical questions since they've
All
had
right.
too much of free time. Like 2 weeks now, no assignment. I've been 1 week now, no assignment. So
Seriously? Wow,
they've
that's
not had any.
interesting.
You see, they were very relaxed. No assignments for them. They are very happy.
Wow, that's
So
interesting. There's one coming up. Don't worry.
thank you so much. I like that you're in tune with me. Thank you so much for the class. That's all the
All right.
questions for Mr. Yakubu this night.
All right.
So if you have personal questions for me, you can now ask your